Hi everyone, welcome to Selective Prep Mathematics, test number 43. This is the solutions video. Let's get right into the overview. So we're just going to be looking at two topics today. So one is going to be our percentages. We've gone through this a lot, and if you're joining us for the first time today, basically what you need to know is percentages can be time consuming because a lot of the time, a lot of people take a lot of extra steps, and a lot of questions are designed so that we tend to answer them that way. Okay, so if we take a look at an example, if we have Ben who receives a 40% discount for a $100 pair of shoes, okay, and the question is asking us how much he pays for them in the end, a lot of people might calculate the discount first and then subtract it from $100 and then find the final price. Okay, whereas what we can just do is, okay, if we get a 40% discount, all we need to pay is 60%. 60% of 100 is $60, and that's it. Okay, and it might not seem too different when we have an easy number such as 100, but if we get a question that gives us a value such as somewhere in the thousands or tens of thousands or millions, okay, it becomes a lot more difficult to find the percentage of the discount, let's say, and then subtract it again, whereas we can just find the final percentage at the end, which would be a lot easier. Also, simultaneous equation. So we've gone over this a few times. Some people might still be confused. So with simultaneous equations, this is what we use when we have two or more equations and two or more pronumerals or unknowns that we want to find. Okay, and there's two methods we can use in simultaneous equations or with simultaneous equations. One is elimination, one is substitution. Now, elimination is getting rid of one letter, okay, in order to find the other on its own. Whereas substitution is finding the value of one letter in terms of the other letter, so A in terms of B, and then substituting back or substituting B instead of A, okay, and finding an equation in one term, okay, or with one letter. So it might be a bit confusing if I don't show it to you visually, and so we'll go over this with a question we have here. Okay, so we're solving a plus 2b equals 10 and 3a plus 5b equals 32. We're trying to find what a and b are. Okay, so we have a plus 2b equals 10. I'm going to show you elimination first. Now, when we're eliminating, we want to subtract, okay, let's say equation 1 from equation 2. And to do that, we need to have at least one term that's the same. So either we need to have 3a and 3a in each equation, or 5b and 5b, or 10b and 10b. Okay, it doesn't matter, as long we need to have one same term or that contains a letter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a into a 3a, which means I need to multiply this whole equation by 3. So it's going to be 3a plus 6b equals 30, and then I'm going to subtract this equation from it. So now I have 3a plus 5b equals 32. Now if I subtract these two equations, what I'm going to get is 3a and 3a cancel out. 6b and 5b, if you subtract them, you just get left over with b. And then 30 minus 32 equals minus 2. So b equals minus 2. Now if I sub b back into the equation, okay, to find what a is, so a plus 2b, but 2b is minus 4 because b is minus 2. So a minus 4 equals 10. So a should equal 14. Now, I should get the same answers with substitution. So in this case, substitution, I'm going to find a in terms of b. So I'm finding the value of one letter in terms of the other. So a is going to be equal to 10 minus 2b. And what I'm going to do is substitute this value of a back into this equation here. So instead of 3a, I'm going to write it as 3, 10 minus 2b, because they're the same values, plus 5b equals 32. Now, if I expand this bracket out, it's going to give me 30 minus 6b plus 5b equals 32, and so I'm going to get 30 minus b equals 32, and if I move the b over here and the 32 over this way, I'm going to get b equals minus 2, and then obviously if I sub that back in, I'm going to get a equals 14 again. Okay, so that is our simultaneous equations. So let's move straight on to the questions now. So we're going to start off with a simultaneous equations question. So 5 children, 2 adults. 5c plus 2a equals 220. 1 adult plus 4 children, 4c plus 1a equals 140. Okay, so I'm going to use substitution in this case. So a equals, so using this second equation here, a equals 140 minus 4c. Okay, so 5c, so if I sub that back into 1, then 5c plus 2 140 minus 4c equals 220. Now, 5c plus 240 minus 8c equals 220. And so 5c minus 8c is minus 3c. If I move the 240 over, I should get, oh, sorry, that should be 280. If I move the 280 over, I should get 60 minus 60, and so c should equal 20. So c equals 20, okay, which 4c is 80, so 80 plus 1a equals 140, meaning that a equals 60. Okay, so c equals 20, a equals 60. What's the weight of 2 adults? So 120 plus 1 child equals 140, so it should be C. Question 2, 5 years ago, Maddie's teacher was 3 times as old as her, so let's call Maddie M, and Maddie's teacher T. Okay, so 5 years ago, so when they were 5 years younger, so T minus 5, she was 3 times older than Maddie, so 3 times older than Maddie when she was 5 years younger. So Maddie now is M, teacher now is T. In 5 years' time, so 5 years later or 5 years older, she'll be twice as old as Maddie, so 2m plus 5. Okay, how many more years will it be before Maddie's teacher is only 1.5 times as old as Maddie? So let's find what these values of t and m are. So t minus 5 equals 3m minus 15. So this is our first equation here. So t equals 3m minus 10. Now in this one, in the second equation, t plus 5 equals 2m plus 10, so t equals 2m plus 5. So now we know t and t, they equal, so 3m minus 10 should equal 2m plus 5. If we move this over and this over, we know m equals 15. So t should equal, so t minus 5, so t equals 2m plus 5, which means that if m is 15, then t is going to be 35. Now that we know this, let's figure out what the question is. How many more years will it be before Maddie's teacher is only 1.5 times as old as Maddie? So we don't know how many years. So let's just say t plus x equals 3 on 2, or 1.5, times m plus x. So we're trying to find what x is. So first of all, let's move this over. Let's move this 2 to the other side. So it's going to be, it's going to be times 2 everything. So 2t plus 2x equals 3m plus 3x. Now, this 2x and this 3 cancel out. Okay, so we're going to have 2t equals, x. If I move this 3m over, I'm going to get x equals 2t minus 3m. Okay, and so that's going to be 70 minus 45, so that's going to equal 25 years. So x is in 25 years, this statement will be true. So that's part C. Area, so this shouldn't be too hard. It should have just been squares placed in the center of a circle. So it should have been find the area of the circle using this radius here, and then find the area of the square using these sides here. And then once you do area of circle minus area of square, okay, you should have gotten part B. Question 4 is an algebra question. This was just trial and error, really. Luckily, it was A, so you should have figured out it was A straight away, basically. There wasn't really many other ways to do this. But basically, if you had expanded out this right-hand side here, okay, RHS stands for right-hand side, A plus C times A plus B, okay, is the same as, if we separate this, it's going to be the same as A times A plus B plus C times A plus B. Okay, and that's going to give you A squared plus AB plus AC plus BC, which is not A squared BC. Question 5, we have a percentages question. So Angry Anacondas had scored 90% of the score so far in the annual ice hockey match, and this is in the first half. And then in the second half, they both score 30 points. And at the end, the Angry Anacondas has scored 60% of the total points. So let's say at the start, there was a total in the first half. Okay, first half total was 10x. Okay, the total score was 10x if you add up both sides, which means Anacondas had 9x, and then the other team had x amount of points. Okay, because they had 90% of the score. Now, they both score 30 each. Second half, they have 9x plus 30 and x plus 30. Okay, we're trying to find out what x is. And at the end of the game, the Angry Anacondas have scored 60% of the total score. So what it's going to be is, at the end of the game, this is 60% and this is 40%. So if we write these as a fraction, 9x plus 30 over x plus 30 is the same as 60 over 40, or 6 over 4, or 3 over 2. Okay, now if we cross multiply, if we move the 2 up here and the x plus 30 up here, then we're going to get 9x plus 30 equals 3x plus 30. Okay, what that's going to give me is 18x plus 60 equals 3x plus 90. Now 15x, if I move this over, equals 30, so x equals 2. And so what percentage of the points in the match was scored in the first half? So the total number of points in the first half was 10x, which means 20 points were scored. Now, 20 points were scored in total, and then in the second half, 30 plus 30, 60 points were scored after that. So by the end, we had 80 points, but in the first half, we had 20. So it was 1/4, or 25%. Question 6, we have a problem-solving question. This one wasn't too bad. So every 3 days, or on the third day, mom always cooks fish for dinner, and after that she always cooks chicken. So if today is Thursday and she's cooking beef, what is the next day she's going to cook fish? So the day before that couldn't have been fish, because otherwise she'd be cooking chicken today, right? So Thursday is beef. Wednesday, so it can't be fish, means it must be chicken, and so Tuesday must have been fish then, if she cooked chicken on Wednesday. So she always cooks chicken after fish, which means that 1, 2, 3, okay, Friday must be fish again, because it's the third day over, so it should be a Friday. Angles, this shouldn't have been too hard, so find x in this figure. This is going to be 30, which means that if this is 90 degrees, this is going to be 60 here. Okay, 60, this is, what exactly is the angle of x? Okay, so this is 60. This is a parallelogram by the looks of it, so this is going to be 60 as well. And so 60 plus 60 is 120, but in a quadrilateral, we have, okay, in a quadrilateral, we have 360 degrees in total. So 360 minus 120 is 240, but x is here, but we also have the opposite side, which is also x. Okay, so they're both x, which means that 240 divided by 2 equals x, so x equals 120. Okay, so opposite sides are equal here, and so if we have a 90-degree angle and this is 30, then this is going to be 60. Question 8 is a fractions question. So the number of hours that were left in around the world race. So this was in 1 week. So 24 hours times 7 should give you 140 plus 28 is 168 hours per week. Okay, in 1 week. So it's 1/5 of the time which had already passed. So the time that already passed is 5x, and the time that is now left over is x, right? So 1/5. So the time in total is going to be 6x. Okay, the time in total is going to be 6x, and so if we divide 168 into 6 to find what x is, it's going to be 2, 4, 8. So x is equal to 28 hours, okay, which means we have 28 hours left over. Because 5x is what already passed, sorry. 5x is what already passed. So 28 hours should have been our answer. Question 9, we have a circular horse track. It needs fencing on the inside and the outside. So what we know is this should be the outer radius. Basically, all you need to do is circumference of the inner radius plus circumference of the outer radius. And so what that would have given you is 2 pi r, so 56 pi plus 50 pi. So that's 106 pi times 3.14 would have given you 333 meters. Okay, just for time's sake, because we have some pretty tricky questions today, I'm not going to show you the working out for general multiplication. Okay, so combinations, this is the last thing we're going to go through. So we have a kebab owner who wants a new sign. So the owner has all the letters of the alphabet in lower and uppercase. Okay, so that's 26 plus 26, because there's lower and upper, and then 16 other symbols, so 16. And so find the total number of different headings the kebab owner store can use to make good business for himself. So how many slots do we have? Has 4 slots, okay? It's got 4 slots for any symbols or letters, doesn't matter what they are, it doesn't have to be in a particular order. So in each of these slots, we have a total number of 26 plus 26, so 52 plus 16, which is 68, okay? And we can repeat these if we want. So in the first slot, we get 68 different characters we can use. In the second slot, we have 68 different characters we can use. In the third slot, we have 68 different characters. In the fourth slot, we have 68 different characters. And that, if you multiply them, although it's going to be a very big hassle to multiply them, okay, should give you 21,381,376 different possibilities. All right, so just the key points or the key takeaways from this test, like we went over at the start. Simultaneous equations, we have elimination and substitution, so you can use either or, it doesn't matter, whatever you're more comfortable with. And percentages, find the final percentage only. Don't waste time trying to find individual percentage in the middle, because it's just going to be time consuming and you're going to run out of time at the end. Okay, so that is that for this video. I will see you in the next video, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.